So right now, it's middle of August. Cat season ended 8 months ago. Didn't upload this at the end of cat season because got demonetized. And majority of traffic on these Bobcat videos comes right away, and then it trickles in after that. And I figured might as well upload right before cat season. Get the excitement around it, get people excited for cat season. New cat trapping content, that's probably how I'm going to do it from now on. I'm going to upload my cat trapping videos right before cat season in November. Just help get people excited for season. They want to watch other cat trapping content prior to that, well, I got however many years worth of that. So that's how things are going to probably go from now on, is cat trapping videos are going to come up before cat season. This year we caught 14 cats, we caught 5 fisher, we caught weasels, squirrels, however many raccoons. I don't count the raccoons. I don't like catching raccoons because it's a sign of rain, and rain's not fun. You'll see some of that in the video. Towards the end of the video, I'll explain a few more things about the system. Stay tuned if you want to hear kind of some logistical rants. That's going to be towards the end of the video. First about 30 minutes is just trapping, setting traps, checking traps. Then there'll be some pictures. I'm going to toss in just some beaver trapping clips. And then at the end, I'll explain a few things. So we're here today in the shop. We're pre-bedding Bobcat boxes for Bobcat season. It opens in a... Here's the boxes. Pretty standard. We got our flagging in the bottom, cables tossed in, and then we take about 2 to 3 pounds of ground beaver meat, put it on a square of wax paper, essentially just a hamburger wrapper, and we drop that down inside. And what we learned in the past is if we stack them up right away, the mesh on the bottom of the box might freeze to the meat. So we kind of quit doing that. We're going to leave these just like this, let them freeze up, and once they freeze, we're going to stack them together and we're going to put them in the trailer. So we got the boxes ready to roll. Now we're just going to let them freeze and then we'll get them loaded. Well, it's opening morning. We got the boxes ready, traps in the trailer, lures in the bed of the truck. This year we're setting a few less than we did last year, going for about 120 is what we're aiming to get set out. So set those out and hopefully have our cats in 2 weeks. We'll see what happens. Out of the truck, got a chainsaw in case there's a dead tree in the road, shovel in case we got a shovel, ice pick, got some tow straps, tow ropes, chains, axe, trap setter, lures in that bucket right there. Take some video throughout the day, keep you posted. First trap, got the truck over there, snowmobile bridge. We got these cat tracks that come from the other side of the bridge. They come from those trees. They come on down the center of the track, and they come over, and then they go off into here, and then this is a beaver slough held up by about a 4-foot beaver dam. Can't really see it, it's dark. Got the box right here with the flagging. Had a box right here last year. We didn't catch a cat right here, but we caught a cat at another location on the creek, so we'll keep you posted. So here we are on a creek. Caught a cat there in the past, caught a cat over here in the past, and this year when we pull up, there is a beaver frozen in the ice that everything's just been coming to chew on. There's fox tracks, bobcat tracks, just every sort of track you can imagine. Tracks go over there, tracks go up, tracks go over the road. We got a box there, he's sent a box there, one box here, one box there. My thoughts are, we got the 2 here, what's coming here and is interesting in what's right here. Now there's new beaver involved. If they're a little leery, we got the 2 over there in case they want to be a little standoffish, get them caught on the way in. Typically we only put 1 or 2 traps at this location, but with the heavy activity I think it's worth gang setting. You can tell it's a beaver by that's what was inside the intestines or the stomach. It's sawdust basically, cellulose I believe is what it's called right there. They've been just chewing down, getting every last little morsel. There's still a little bit in there, so hopefully we come back and we got a few critters. Got our box right there. Got a cable off to a little branch right here. Big pile of beaver in there, 2.5 pounds or so of ground beaver meat. Got some castor mix in there, just lure I use for spring beaver trapping. Trap locked in the box. Got our flagging right there. Right here we got the creek. It's an old beaver, I don't know, beaver slough. Up there is a beaver dam they tore out. Water's dropped significantly. We got 3 sets of cat tracks. We're setting on sign. Snowing right now, and we'll keep you posted on what we catch. Coming back to that beaver spot the next morning. All we got though for is a skunk. Snowed, rained, hasn't been any animal movement, but still a skunk. It's about 5 in the morning. We're at second stop of the day. Come up, we got an empty box, and we got a cat laying in front of it. It's probably 18-pound cat or so, not super big. But we'll get that out and we'll re-show you. There's the cat with the set remade. So we're here in a spruce stand that runs between two swamps, runs up to the road, runs off to the other side, and dead ends out into the swamp over there. I set the spot every year for a few years now and finally caught a cat in it. Decent sized cat, it's about 20 pounds. Same set as always. Since it's been caught, something's been chewing at the bait, probably mice. Wish I could show you the spot a little bit better, but it's dark, so it can only do what you can do. Want to pick up the cat? Yeah, well, it's probably 25 pounds. Nice sized cat.
It's a decent one.
Yeah, we'll get him out of the trap and we'll continue on. Resetting on a beaver lodge. Got a little pine squirrel on the swamp.
You want it or should I throw it in here?
It's up to you. It's your squirrel. So we're here on a beaver pond next to a railroad grade, and at the point of the pond where there's kind of a convergence of different types of environments, we got a box and we got a weasel. I'll pick her up. It's not a big weasel, just an average short tail. Reset it and we're going to carry on. So we're up on a high ridge next to a four-wheeler trail. Got our box up on the ridge and we caught ourselves a fisher. Nice.
Nice little one.
Here in a dry culvert. Cocoon. Here at this culvert that goes underneath the snowmobile trail, we're on a section of land between the road and the snowmobile trail, and we got ourselves a fisher. This is how many stops is this after the last fisher? 3?
Yep.
Third stop after. So cool. Down here on this river, got some alders on both sides. Some tracks right there. Got the box right here. Old beaver run going up. Follow the cable, and we got a nice sized cat. It's got to be a 30+ pound cat. Number 3 for the day. We got another box over here. Nothing in it. Every year when we're setting, there's usually a set of tracks that come from up there, and they just go on down this way. So after a few years of setting it, we finally connected. So it's kind of frozen the ice, so we're gonna chisel it out. There's the trap reset. This one we don't have a pan, we're just using trigger wires. Still caught that big cat, he didn't worry about it. I got him in L. Try to make it as open as possible, to where their face is touching it as least as possible. But it got it. There's that cat. Big cat. Want to pick her up? It's gonna be a 35 pound cat.
It's a heavy cat. Of course it has some ice on it.
Yeah, we'll continue on. We're out here putting on more sets. There's one box. Got the flag out back behind it. Try to draw their attention as they're walking along. Lots of tracks along the shoreline here. Some tracks go up to this beaver chew. The rest of the tracks that cross here. And there's a snowmobile trail right there. We got a box right there. There's a beaver lodge right there. It's a nice little spot. Right here in front of the box, nice wolf tracks. Nice size too. We're up on top of this hardwood ridge. A little bit of softwoods mix in. We got a creek that flows out of the swamp here. It's not a steady creek. It just kind of forms right here. It's more of a flowage than anything. Down there we got what seems like a beaver pond. Haven't looked for a beaver lodge. But right there at that creek there's a load of tracks. We're putting a trap right there. And then up on this ridge that juts out into it, we got one box as well. So there we are, end of the day. Got 3 cats. 1, 2, 3. This one's a little bit small. These other 2, not bad size. This one's a brute. That's a big one. This coon is just destroyed. Something ate its nose. Something ate its arm. That's what's left of that raccoon's arm. Thing's just destroyed. 2 fishers. Not the biggest fishers, but still fishers. We don't catch a lot of fishers in this neck of the woods. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't, but not too bad for one day. Here on a beaver dam, there's a lodge. Got 1 box on that beaver run. Coming up the side arm, we got a fisher. You want to pick it up? That's a nice size.
Freshly caught, it's not frozen.
Heck yeah.
It's a good sized fisher.
We're at the spot. We caught that second cat last check. Got another cat again.
Little baby.
Want to pick her up? It's not the biggest cat, probably 15 pounds maybe, 12 pounds. Cat's a cat. We gonna get out of the trap or need another trap?
It's movable. I think that's good.
Okay. Yeah, we'll reset that and keep on checking here. How many traps we in? 15 maybe? 1/10 of the way done. So we're here on a logging road. You can see the dozer tracks. Can't see it with our tracks, but there's cat tracks that come on down the trail. Mosey on down. They come over to our box. This is where we caught a cat last year that was wrapped around that tree. It's a nice sized cat. What do you think it is, 25 pounds? Almost 30 maybe.
I think it's a 30 pounder.
That's a nice sized cat.
It's a big one.
Some tracks right there too. I don't know what those are. We'll reset and we're going to keep on going here. Second cat of the day. Coming up on a set on the edge of a gravel pit. Got ourselves a fisher. Not too bad. Not that small.
It's a nice one.
It was average female.
I might need a trap.
We'll get her out, reset, and keep on going. 2 cats and a fisher. Coming up here on a pond. Got a fisher.
Yeah. That's a good one. Oh, is that a coon?
That's a fisher. Nice. Just on a little pond, retainage pond next to a snowmobile trail. That's a big fisher.
No trap.
That's a big fucking coon.
Holy.
There we are for the day. Got 2 bobcats. This one's nice size. We think that's more in the 30s rather than the 20s. Got a little weasel. I didn't film that, but we caught that. 2 fisher. That's a tank of a fisher. Between 3 of us, we got 1 more fisher to go to get our limit. Big coon. That is a massive coon. But we're gonna put those in the room, thaw them out, get to processing. Got ourselves another cat. First cat of the morning. Right over here we got some bait on the ground. There's some other cat tracks. Maybe that one doesn't quite look like a cat track. I see claws on it. That right there, that's a cat track. But
That's a cat track.
yeah, that's a cat track. But right there, that looks like a fox or something. I see the claws. But the bait's out of the box. Something came after the cat was caught and started eating away. I don't know. Maybe that's the bait from the other guy.
I was just gonna tell you this ain't our bait.
Yeah, maybe a guy threw a bunch of bait. But nice. Yeah, there was another guy trapping here. He set before season, so he said, "Screw it. You want to set before season? We'll set right next to you." Usually we wouldn't do that, but he must have got mad and threw his bait towards us, trying to distract the cats from our box. So maybe that cat was eating that bait and came in here. It's hard to say. But
Maybe.
that's a nice sized cat. I think it's got to be 35 pounds at least. Same size as the other two big ones we caught, around 35. So we're going to keep on running down the line. Keep you posted. We're coming up here where that beaver was in the ice. We got ourselves a bobcat. Decent size. I don't know. It's not the biggest cat in the world. I think it looks kind of starved. Maybe it's just down in the ice a little bit. 15, 20 pound cat. That trap's empty right there. We caught the skunk right there in that box the one time. There's the beaver carcass. This is a week after now. Anything in that one?
No bait.
No bait? Able to see the other one?
No, I can't see.
If there's something in the other one, we'll show you yet. But we got that raccoon here too. But we're gonna get that cat out of here, and we're just gonna keep on going. Second cat of the day. Here at a box. I really wish it wasn't dark when I was checking some of these traps so I could show you the whole location. We're on, I don't even know if it's classified as a creek or just where the water happens to drain out of this flowage. It's large tag alder swamp, and the truck is over there. You can't see the lights, I don't think. Right there's the lights. And we gotta meander our way in through here. There's a beaver dam up there we caught a nice sized cat at last year. But we came down here, we found some tracks further in the swamp. We caught a cat. That's not a big one by any means. 12-pound cat, it's not a big one. But here's the box. If you look right here, you can see a trail going over that way. We've had the box set for about a week and a half. Finally connected. So we're gonna keep carrying on. First cat of the day. We have quite a few traps left, probably another 115 traps to check, maybe 110. I'll keep you posted. Down off of the snowmobile trail, just down here in the woods. Then right here we got a box. We got another bobcat. That's the furthest in we have ever caught a bobcat in a trap. That thing is deep in that trap. It's very few, don't ever see that. There's the box. We got underneath this tree. We figured they'd just be walking along. Cat would see the box or the flagging. The tree helps keep it out of the snow or rain. And sure as heck, we caught him. Second cat of the day. We're gonna keep on trapping. Here out in a slough, where the slough ends up running underneath the road. Got a box on the other side, caught nothing there. But right here we got some tracks going through the brush. Got a box. We got a large fat coon, probably about 24-pound coon or so. Nice size. See if we got any bait. Still got bait, so we're gonna reset. And we're gonna keep on trapping here.
Actually, what did I hook this on? Just carry him with the
Nice size raccoon. Well, this is fun. Walking through water. Go check my trap. It's probably about 10 inches of ice, and on top of the ice, it's probably about 10 to 12 inches of water. Walking over to the trap. Walking on what was the safe part of the river. Hopefully we don't fall through. So we made it to our trap here. Trap's still set. But if you notice, the box is barely in the water. That's one thing to pay attention to when you're out here trapping. You know, realize how the environment can change around you drastically in a short period of time. I was here 2 days ago. There's snow and ice on this river. Now things are flooded. You know, things happen fast. And when I set my traps on these waterways, I try to pay attention to stuff like that. I try to keep it up and out to where it isn't going to be drowned underwater. Not always possible, but in this case it was. Now when I pull this trap, it's not frozen in. Let's say I got here tomorrow, the trap could have been frozen in. But it's not drastically frozen in. Whereas if I had that thing set a little bit lower, you know, it could have been 10 inches under. Well, it could have been completely submerged, you know. It wouldn't be 10 inches under to the top of the box, but it could have been completely submerged and, you know, frozen in. But we don't have that in this case, so we're good to go. We're pulling traps today, pulling half of them. We'll keep you posted. Not much for light, but got ourselves another raccoon down on this flowage. Shown this spot a lot of times before. It's a raccoon type of day. I think we'll have a few raccoons. We're here on a bear bait trail. Not our bear bait trail, just a trail for bear baiters. Right here we got a bridge going over a little creek, just a log bridge. And we got ourselves a raccoon. Nice size raccoon, third one of the day. Gonna keep on going. Down here on the top end of a beaver flow. Truck's parked over there. Got ourselves a raccoon. How big you think that is? 18 pounds?
Yeah, it's a coony kind of day.
Yeah, keep on going. So we're here, top side of a beaver dam. Cats come walking out the edge of this trail. We got a box right here. No trap. But we got over here, got a raccoon. We're gonna have to work at it, getting that pulled out of there. But cut ourselves a raccoon. That's the first trap of the day. We got about 50 more and we'll keep you posted. So here's a new one. We're out here in the swamp. A little tiny beaver lodge. Trap is reset. It was set off. Box was flipped over. There's a shotgun wad right there on top of the ice. That's interesting. Look inside of the box. Thing's just pelted. Someone stood on the road, shot my box with a shotgun. That's nice of them. Yeah, I'd say, I don't know, 150 yards that way, there was another box. That trap was set off and there were some scratches on the pan. I was like, that just don't make any sense. I bet they shot that other box too. I didn't even look at it, but on the way back through, we'll take a look at it. Yeah, some people need to get a life, I guess. I don't know why you'd shoot somebody's box, but. Here we got that one coon that was all eaten up. Got ourselves another raccoon. The smallest coon we got this year. Went down, pulled out of the trap, didn't have the camera with me, so didn't want to walk all the way back down there. We ended up catching that cat and skunk over there as well. Not today as previous, but walking up on a trail to a box. And in front of the box, got a red fox. Second red fox he's ever got in a box. Not a very big one. We've been following this guy's tracks all morning. Finally caught him. About time he committed. Well, we're going to reset and keep on going. Coming up a side arm that comes over to a snowmobile trail. There's a creek down that way, a lot of swamp over here. Got a box, a lot of bait, and we connected on a small little cat. Not a big cat by any means. That's a kitten. It's one of the bad things about using boxes. You can't be super selective. If we had a 3-day check on snares, I could be more selective by setting, big tracks. But that's what it is. We're gonna reset, keep on going. We're on this little ridge. Last year we caught a cat over there. We gotta check that box yet. But we caught a fisher here earlier this year. We showed you that. And we caught another bobcat. Not a big cat. We haven't been catching big cats this year, but we'll get him out of the trap. We're going to reset. We're going to keep on going. If we got something on the other side, we'll show you that too. Here on a beaver dam, not beaver dam, but beaver pond, active beaver colony. And over here on the side, we've got a bobcat box and a bobcat. Another small cat. There's nothing but small cats this year. Last year we caught all the big toms. Not sure why we're catching all the little ones this year. That's how it goes. We're going to reset the trap and we're going to keep on going. Coming up on a stop here. We've got 2 cats here so far. We got something. Looks like a coon.
Sure does, doesn't it? Big old coon.
It's probably the biggest coon of the year. Yeah, we'll need more bait in the box.
I'm going to throw one in here and I'm going to check that other side.
We're going to reset. And we got one on the other side here. Up here on this trail, edge of a swamp. Got the box right here. Got ourselves a little skunk. I typically leave them in the trap, and then just put a new trap in. So, yeah. Coming up onto a set. Now, if you remember my first bobcat video that I made, this is where I caught the first bobcat in that video. Here we are, I believe three years later, got another cat. Lots of kittens this year. Can't get into the toms for some reason. Last day of season, we're pulling traps. Got that cat. Got a lot more traps yet, so hopefully we get some more. So there's a few misconceptions when it comes to how this trap line is managed. At the beginning of the video, this video and last year's video, I talk about the number of traps I got going out. I got 140 boxes in the trailer, 110, I don't know. It's 140 boxes that we ran last year and we ran this year. Last year we might have even been a hair over. We might have been around 150, but there's some other stuff. I'm not going to really count some of the stuff we were running because I think we were running boxes just out of boredom. But 140 boxes is pretty much what we run. We run them across about, let's call it 70 locations. We average pretty much two traps per stop, 2 traps per location. And kind of what I'm doing with that is I don't know, just figuring things out, figuring out where to put traps, where not to put traps. And, you know, with that, eventually I'm going to, there's areas where I have multiple traps. So there's what I consider micro locations and macro locations. And out of the macro locations, you know, like let's say there's a swamp and a woods and a ditch. Well, the cats that are in that area are going to come through the same few spots. Where I've been setting it like 2 traps here, 2 traps here, 2 traps here, 2 traps here. And the big macro location, rather than having 10 traps, I could be getting away with 4 traps probably. That's kind of what I'm looking to switch into going into the future. I've always had a go big or go home mindset, and yeah. So in the future, I'm going to be toning down. Like I'm going to be running a lot of traps. I'm going to be toning down the traps that I have in certain areas. You know, I've learned what does and doesn't work in certain areas based on the climate in which I've experienced in those areas. So speaking of that, I put out those traps, and my goal is I'm going to be done in 2 weeks. You know, we're going to catch, you know, this year there's 3 of us. Last year there's 2 of us. You know, let's say it's 10 to 15 bobcats. We should be able to catch that in 2 weeks because I go out and I check these locations prior to season. There's beaver ponds, there's sloughs, there's creeks. I go and I check all these when I'm doing my little having fun under ice beaver trapping. And there's cat tracks. I run into 30, 40 sets of cat tracks. You know, out of those, it's got to be 20 to 30 different bobcats. Lots and lots of bobcat sign. And go out and put these boxes out. And we slam some cats right in the beginning. You know, like last year we had a 4-cat day, and then we had a 4-cat day. Like, wow, two 4-bangers. This year we had a triple and a double. But the issue is, it should be going a little harder than that, but we get rain. And when it rains and all your traps are set on top of frozen waterways, they get flooded and out of commission because nothing goes through there other than the raccoons and the mink. So in a video, like if we talk about it's a raccoon type of day, it's not fun. It's not just a raccoon day, it's a miserable day where everything is soaked. You're soaked, the traps are soaked, boxes are soaked, your bait is soaked, and then you have to realize, you don't necessarily know that until you go out there. So you go and you see all that, and okay, we just ran all this. When I'm trapping, I run 200 to 300 miles a day. You know, that's probably 250 to 300 miles, depending on the line that we're running. Sometimes we're running 350 miles. We're running a lot of different territory. I don't live in bobcat country. My first trap is over an hour away from where I live. You know, that's the first one. You know, where do you think the furthest one is? To where it doesn't work out real good. So it rains, then we got to go check, and we realize everything's out of commission. Out of those 140, at least 80 of them are out of commission. So then we got to come back and we got to pull all those. And you already know, like, oh great, like it's just not going to be good to pull all these. And when I pull them, they don't all fit in my truck. I have to get my trailer. I guess I could pull half today and half then, but I just put them all in the trailer. You know, That's how the pulling goes. And this year, you know, going beyond that, we pull all the ones that were out of commission, and then going beyond the ones that are out of commission, we pulled other ones too, and then reset another area. To where I'm not running 140 traps for 6 weeks. We got a 6-week cat season. I'm not running 140 traps for 6 weeks. 140 traps is for about a week, and then going beyond that, then it's about 60. And then after that, if I'm bored, I'll say, okay, I'm still gonna run 20 traps, and I'll run 20 traps for another 3 weeks. And you know, it's just one specific little area where I can drive up real quick, check them in about an hour, and then drive back. You know, that's how that works. So I hope that kind of explains a few things with the logistics of what we got going on with the trap numbers. So we're out here today, we're checking beaver traps, some otter traps. In total we have 40 traps set. We've already checked 6. There's 5 at this location, so that makes 11. At this location we caught 3 small beaver. We'll show you those in a second. The first location of the day we caught, you know, another small beaver. So we're at 4 beaver for the day out of 11 traps. Haven't caught any otter. All the otter traps have been empty. We'll show you the beaver. We got 1. There's another one over there, and then it makes 3. But I wanted to just kind of spend this day going out, walking these beaver ponds, looking at the tracks. Right there, when I set before, there were some canine tracks there. But if we come over here, right there, we got some bobcat tracks. And I just want to follow these bobcat tracks, get it on video, kind of show you guys what them bobcats do. So this is a beaver pond. It's a flooded creek. The main part of the pond is over there. The beaver are up here on the other side of the first dam. Well, actually, there's even more dams further up. But this cat comes over this way, and the cats, they just walk through all the channels on these ponds. So when you come later to set your traps for the cats, you just have to kind of funnel down and pick which of the locations you think that cat is more apt to travel again. There's some rabbit tracks running on the ice. I'm sure that cat's out here hunting some rabbits. Cat comes over this way. That cat ventures up that channel. Come down this way. And I don't know if it's the same cat. I believe so. Cat tracks go this way. And I covered them with my feet by now, but there were cat tracks, right? Right there's a cat track. Cat tracks running up this beaver trail for beaver chews. That trail goes up. This is a long running ridge. It's a 20-acre parcel of tax forfeited land. Cat tracks go that way. The cat tracks also come from over there. They go down to the dam. And then over here where the creek narrows down, there's cat tracks that walk through the narrows over there too. We'll zoom in here. So right there we got that bird nest. Come down right there. I already pulled a trap there, that's why it looks like that. But right there the cats come down through. So I think that'd be a perfect little spot to narrow them down. Put a trap up here on the dam off to the side. You know, I'll probably put a trap right there when the time comes. And then other than that, I'm thinking I might put another trap further up the creek. There's a dam further up that way I might set. But we got these 3 beaver. We're gonna put those in the truck. We got 2 otter traps below the main dam. So we'll go check those. So we're here at a swamp. We got a railroad grade that comes through. I think last year I caught a mink right there in a bobcat set. But we got a beaver feed pile. There's no lodge that I can notice, at least. I look around, can't find it, look up and down, don't see it. So my assumption was they were underneath the road. Right there we got this channel. You can see where I chopped 1, 2, 3. That one's empty, it's poled. This one has a beaver, this one has a beaver. Then over here, that right there is where the bank den is. That has a muskrat. I'm surprised that didn't get a beaver. So I'm assuming they have another bank den somewhere that I couldn't find. I see it's open right here, but when I was walking there last time, I wasn't finding any runs, but I might be confused. I'll pull these traps up and we'll show you. So here's the 2 beaver. They're just 2-year-old in size. Assuming that they're a first-year mated pair, haven't had any kits yet. This is the first time I've ever found a feed pile here. Usually if there's beaver, they're on the other side of the road. But the muskrat, see if we can zoom in on that. I'm not walking over there. I will, but right there's the muskrat, and nothing big in size. Every year, regardless of drought, water levels, there's always rat huts out in this swamp. I've never trapped for them, but I see them all the time. When I set these traps, there was rat tracks on top of the ice going up and over the road. But we're gonna take these, throw them in the truck. We're gonna continue on down the line. So we got a fire going. Got a breakdown. The fuel tank fell. Got strapped up now, but didn't know it fell. And you can see the nice long drag mark where it formed a hole in the gas tank. So I stopped, was chiseling out a trap of this tiny little lodge here. There's a bunch of wolf tracks here, but heard the truck shut off, went to turn it on, there's an empty fuel tank, wasn't starting. So looked underneath and what do you know? So got reinforcements coming, just have a fire and wait. Sit in the truck, eat some old food.